So Steven Spielberg is going to direct it for Warner Brothers. Now, I have not read the book. It's been one of those books that everyone at IGN, every reader's like, dude, you have to read this thing. So I'm going to go out and buy it. I'll read it eventually. I have a couple of years before I have to worry about catching up to it. But you have read the book, Chris.
Yeah, so it's about...
So what are the big challenges, though, that you see in bringing this thing to life?
So yeah, this book is super, super laden with pop culture references, all kinds of properties that would need to get pulled in to make it authentic to the book. You know, like old school video games, movies, TV shows. There's so much referential stuff in there. It's almost, this movie is going to be almost like a time capsule of this era, maybe this century, because there's just so much stuff in there.
Do you mean this century or the 20th century?
Well, I mean a century from here back, you know, probably actually more like 50 years. But anyway. I was
going to say, they're dropping in like Buster Keaton references? That's amazing.
Yeah, Buster Keaton plays a big part. No, but what I'm saying is, essentially this movie it's going to have to operate, and they said this in the press release yesterday, it's going to have to operate like Lego Movie or like Wreck-It Ralph, where I mean, the lawyers and some of the producers on this project are going to just have to do so much legwork to lock all these things down. Now, it's a positive, really cool property, so I think people are going to want to be involved. That's cool. Like they said when they were it's the same team that was like helping to do the Lego Movie. They said when they were going out to do that, everybody was really excited to be on board. And so you had, you know, DC and Star Wars and all that, you know, contributing. Yeah. But yeah, man.
But think about, okay, in a way, maybe Spielberg is the only one that could get this movie made, because think about all the pies he has his fingers in. You know, that he has helped create, especially of that era that the story's going to cover.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to get a Star Wars thing in there, you probably could. If you wanted to get in Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, Gremlins,
right?
Any of those things that he is, E.T., any of the things that he's, you know, even Halo, he's tied to Halo. Like,
nobody
you probably
in Hollywood
could get some of these things to happen now. I know even if they're not in the book, they might have to basically substitute for something that they can't get.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a particular property you'd be
I don't
gobsmacked if they actually got it cleared for this?
No, I really, really think that it's going to be a challenge, but I do think that people are going to work with them. And I don't think that there is anything that is like the holiest of holy things that cannot be touched. Because I think, you know, Lego Movie proved that if you can get Star Wars and DC characters into the same movie, you know, by Warner Brothers, then that's like, people are doing their work the right way.
Right.
This is a culture that, you know, our culture right now, current pop culture, is so mixed up, so many like references, and that's how people communicate with each other and stuff. Obviously, that's what we do here all the time. I think it's just the way that movies will continue to be made, and it's about getting those rights properly signed off on, and it's just going to be, it's a lot of work.
It's also interesting, though, to see like almost how deals that were made in the 90s and early 2000s kind of coming back to bite some people in the ass now, because it's like, even with Marvel, like things that had been piecemealed out just to keep the lights on, frankly. Like, you know, it's like, I make these kind of sports analogies a lot trying to explain it, but like, imagine if you traded away your big shot player, right, to another team, because you had to keep the team going. But now you're at a point where, in order to win this game, like, you have to borrow them back.
Yeah, you got to bring them back. I mean, it's tough. I feel like Marvel especially, I mean, they're obviously working with Sony to get Spidey back. That's the most high-profile case of something like that happening. And essentially, they sold off a lot of their rights because they were almost bankrupt. Like Apple, they were like one of these entities that was almost bankrupt, that just totally rose from the ashes and now is like a mega power that seems unstoppable. But yeah, at one point in time, a lot of their properties belonged to not Lionsgate, Artisan before.
Yeah.
Like Artisan had a bunch of stuff.
Is Artisan even still around?
No. Got absorbed into Lionsgate.
Yeah.
And so
they had Black Widow, they had Iron Fist, they had basically all the Netflix
Blade
stuff. Blade,
yeah. That's where I think that's where the Blade TV show. Well,
and Punisher,
maybe not.
right?
Punisher, they had Punisher, yeah.
Because isn't that part of how Punisher Warzone came about?
Yeah.
That was a Lionsgate movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, and honestly, like there were like quietly Marvel started getting these things back when these projects started failing. It's interesting that they own Punisher. Punisher will happen at some point with Marvel, I think.
I can see him popping up on one of the Netflix shows.
I do too. I think
I don't know if
where
he'll
he's gonna be used.
necessarily get his own series. He could.
Yeah.
But I could see him showing up as an antagonist on something like Daredevil and then becoming like the begrudging ally. And I guess we'll have to learn how to work together, Frank Castle.
Yeah, so, but I mean, I think Ready Player One, it's like, when you're talking about Steven Spielberg, nobody in Hollywood is not going to take Steven Spielberg's call or take the call of somebody on a Steven Spielberg production.
You'd be like, later.
When I was at E3 one year, I got kicked off of playing a game because Steven Spielberg's kid was there.
See, and that's why he won't take his call.
That's where the trickle down comes from. Yeah. He calls me up, I'm like, who? Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Hey.
My beard's better. Bye.
No, but I mean, seriously, absolutely, Steven Spielberg, everybody's going to take that call.
Yeah.
And I think people will make some concessions and make stuff work. And all the
ties, too, that he's had at different studios over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's tied to Sony. He's done like stuff with Men in Black, and he's tied to Warner Brothers. He's got stuff with, obviously, DreamWorks is his company. He's done stuff for Paramount.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Universal.
he executive produced stuff under a different name just to have more things going.
I just want it all. But yeah, I think, and then another challenge for Ready Player One is just a technical one. I mean, there are a lot of folks saying that they're going to try and make this the first truly virtual reality movie. Is that a little too pie in the sky, you think?
I don't know.
Because you think about all the stuff, how long it took the theater chains to get to the point of just getting everything in 3D and all that, getting everything digital, retrofitting in theaters.
Are you saying like people are going to go to and watch an Oculus Rift?
Basically, yeah.
I mean, that'll be a really super long production time, and then you're going to need the technology to be there. And then I don't know, like having used Oculus Rift, I don't think I could handle it for an hour and a half.
I've never
or 2
used
hours.
it. Is it really as intense as people say?
It's just kind of a lot, like after about 15, 20 minutes, you're like, okay, I'm going to take a rest from this.
It's like kind of like tripping or something.
I
don't know about that.
I don't know if it's like tripping. But no, I mean.
Is that what the kids call it these days?
That's going to be a lot of, that's going to be, I would say that I think it would say it's going to be released more traditionally than that, I think.
Okay.
But we'll see.
All right.
I mean, it is Spielberg and he can push things forward, so we'll see.